What's going on, guys? It's Simple here, and today I'm gonna be trying out something a little new. I'm gonna be showcasing two pretty cool decks that I've been having success with lately, which is gonna be this Hog Rider P.E.K.K.A deck, and also, if I can get it right, this P.E.K.K.A Expo deck. Now these aren't meta decks, but they've been giving me quite a bit of success, especially the Hog Rider deck. The P.E.K.K.A deck I just recently came out with this deck. I modified it from my teammate Kanalish, or I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, but yeah, he runs the Expo normally, and he came up with the P.E.K.K.A Expo deck. So he runs the Expo deck. I switched out a few cards. His is a different variant. I can't remember exactly, but I know I switched. I added archers to mine, Mega Minion, and bats. Those three cards were different in his version. But yeah, you guys can try out different cards. I had success with this version just because I really love the archers in this meta. They're really good as a starting card, and also to deal with graveyards, to deal with air troops. I really like the archers ice golem combo, and bats of course just high DPS. If they have zap, they so he runs the Expo deck. I switched out a few cards. His is a different variant. I can't remember exactly, but I know I switched. I added archers to mine, Mega Minion, and bats. Those three cards were different in his version. But yeah, you guys can try out different cards. I had success with this version just because I really love the archers in this meta. They're really good as a starting card, and also to deal with graveyards, to deal with air troops. I really like the archers ice golem combo, and bats of course just high DPS. If they have zap, they can't really retarget the Expo either, so there's some synergy there as well. And of course we have the log to deal with log bait troops. Anything swarmy rushing the Expo, we deal with that quite nicely. And then this deck, which is the deck I've been playing about 2-3 days now. I've had some really high success with this deck. I actually got it from my teammate, another teammate of mine, Hames. If you guys don't know, my new clan is Underrated Underworld. We made a new esports team with the best players from all our three clans. Could be more, correct me if I'm wrong, but yeah, I got the deck from Hames, my teammate. Great player, really good player. He used the Ice Spirit version. I believe he had Ice Spirit instead of goblins. I switched out the goblins. I switched out the Ice Spirit for the goblins just because I like goblins over Ice Spirit, and I've been having nothing but success with it. So the first match I'm going to show you guys is actually a match from today, which was in the Valiance Cup. This tournament was for $200 if we win. We ended up placing third through fourth, finishing the semifinals. It's a bit unfortunate. We got a little bit of confusion with the bans, what card was banned and what was not, and we kind of messed up there. But yeah, in any case, we had some pretty good matches. This one is against Sasa, using the Hog Rider deck I just talked about. So let's hop straight into it. So this is actually a pretty difficult matchup. I hate facing the P.E.K.K.A Hog when I have the P.E.K.K.A. I start off with a Hog Rider. I like to start off with a Hog Rider in this deck, and then counter whatever they use on my Hog Rider with a Princess. So that's what I'm doing here. Clean it up pretty nicely. I figure now that he has some type of P.E.K.K.A control. I'm hoping it's minor. But I see an Ice Golem, and then I'm just praying at this point that it's not Hog Rider. But then, yeah, there's the Hog. So I drop a mini P.E.K.K.A and bats to help take away some of the damage from my mini P.E.K.K.A. And then we have a small counter push. He does have to answer this. Yes, or my P.E.K.K.A might have gotten a swing. He answers it with goblins. I'm gonna throw down an Ice Golem and Hog Rider. Pretty standard plays right here. And here I find out he has the P.E.K.K.A. If I already didn't know that. But my Hog still gets 2 swings because the Ice Golem was tanking for the tower, which is pretty good. At this point, I'm not too sure what I'm gonna do, how I'm gonna stop this, but I managed to pull off a really nice defense here. I basically dropped the mini P.E.K.K.A on the Electro Wizard and drop goblins quickly on the P.E.K.K.A so that the P.E.K.K.A can swing first at the goblins before he deals with the mini P.E.K.K.A. And here I drop a Ice Golem for the bats and to stall the P.E.K.K.A a little bit, and my bats clean up that push pretty nicely actually. So I'm pretty happy with that push. Worked out great. I'm still wondering how I'm gonna win this matchup because yeah, it's simply pretty tough. I have a bad cycle here, so I kind of drop my princess and then mini P.E.K.K.A 7 elixir worth. He goes with a poison, pretty good poison by him clipping my tower and the princess. I go for a pre-log here because I know he has goblins. He dropped goblins in the middle, seeing my log, which actually gave my mini P.E.K.K.A a chance to get a hit, but he drops Ice Golem. Well played by him. I'm going for Ice Golem, Hog Rider. He drops E-Wiz, I'll drop some bats and goblins, dealing with his Hog Rider without giving it a hit. My Hog Rider gets 1 hit, I get a log. Basically, there's a lot of logging going on in this match, and I drop my princess at the bridge. You guys will see me do that a lot because, yeah, it's against a P.E.K.K.A deck. It's a reliable way of getting damage. You can see I'm protecting my princess here as well. I'm gonna drop a mini P.E.K.K.A, log as well, or I actually don't log here. Okay, I go with the Ice Golem, just keeping up the pressure. I want to make sure he can't get to 7 elixir, because I know he wants to save his P.E.K.K.A for my Hog, but he has to use elixir on stuff like my mini P.E.K.K.A and princess, so he can't stay on 7 elixir. So I'm just keeping the pressure that way. And once I know that he doesn't have 7 elixir, I know I'm safe to play my Hog Rider and I'll get at least 1 hit. So here I'm doing the same thing as I told you, but he decides finally to play his P.E.K.K.A, but it's being occupied by my mini P.E.K.K.A right here. So I throw in my Hog and a log. He still defends it pretty well. The Hog Rider only gets 1 hit. This defense was pretty crazy. I'm not even sure what I actually do here. You guys can see it's kind of hectic. It was an insane match. This match was to clutch the round, by the way. If I lost this, we were out of the tournament. My Hog ends up getting a hit there at the end, and Rocket goes out for the victory. So I'm pretty happy with that match. It can be really tough, but my main advice is to protect your mini P.E.K.K.A while it's dealing damage to the P.E.K.K.A. You can do this with goblins, you can do this with Ice Golem, but of course you want to drop the mini P.E.K.K.A first to take out the support troops, which was in this case his E-Wiz. Alright, I might do a full video review on this deck because as you can see I have been having great success with it. You can look, this Grand Challenge, the 9-win one, I was just warming up, trying out multiple of my decks. The 12-win one, I used the Hog Rider deck fully, which was 12-1. The 11-win one, I also used the Hog Rider deck. This 7-win one, I used, I think, I'm not sure what I used at the 7-1, but the third 12-1 down here as well, I used the Hog Rider deck. And also this Plex Chat tournament I decided to play in. I'm not sure if I lost in the Plex Chat, but I still came in second. I didn't get to play the whole tournament, but yeah, I did really well with that Hog Rider deck, so it's been giving me great success. Alright, so we're moving on right now to the Expo deck. Quite a interesting deck we have here, but I'll show you a match against, let's go with Mega. We just had a match against this guy from Mega Superiority. Seems like a good player, so let's check it out. So he has a minor poison bats Tesla deck, which is actually a pretty good deck. Quite annoying to deal against. The Tesla is really good right now. I don't like facing it, but yeah, I start off with archers, which is my favorite play in all of Clash Royale. I know he's targeting my archer with the miner. He goes in pretty aggressively with miner and poison, so I know I'm safe to pump here. And with this deck, you basically wanna your pump is basically a rocket bait or a spell bait, so that your X-bow can be deployed safely. He goes in heavily with miner poison, so he doesn't really have anything to do with my pump. I don't have anything to stop the miner right now, but I just deploy some bats. I know I'm up in elixir a lot right now, so I deploy an X-bow. He deploys a knight. He goes for a Tesla here. I see it coming. I drop an ice golem and archers. I also log, taking out that Tesla and giving my X-bow some pretty good damage. But he dealt a lot of damage as well from the first push, so we're about even in tower damage. And at this point, I go for the pump again. I know he has miner and poison, so I'm gonna again put it a bit more to the left to just try to bait him out to that left side to spread the damage. I know he's gonna go with miner poison. That's fine by me. So there he goes again, using both the miner and the poison. 7 elixir. And I know my X-bow is safe to deploy again right here. But instead, I'm going with a P.E.K.K.A. because I've seen all his cards in his deck, and I know that the P.E.K.K.A. will be a great help for my X-bow. So, with the P.E.K.K.A. running down the lane, I'm going to set up my X-bow. P.E.K.K.A. is basically, you don't always play the P.E.K.K.A., but he messes up there, by the way, dropping the knight behind the tower. But if you know he has, you know, some tanky troops, the P.E.K.K.A. is a great asset to the X-bow. You know, blocking any incoming damage and also dealing with tanks very well. The X-bow is a great card to have alongside the X-bow. It complements it pretty well. And of course, you have the support troops like the Mega Minion archers. Here you can see I'm just overwhelming him with troops, as any X-bow does. And I'm gonna drop the ice golem as well, just to make sure I protect this X-bow. And at this point, it's basically GG. There's nothing he could have done right there. After that start, I basically got a huge elixir advantage, and just, you know, it was just pretty easy from there. So good game to this guy from Mega. But yeah, we pulled through right there. Alright, so that's gonna be it. Hope you guys enjoyed this little sneak peek of a few decks I'm working on. You can see some more of my decks right here. I'll probably come up with some videos on them as well. But I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace.